Even a beginner can make a website in 2 hours, and we're gonna show you how step by step with no steps skipped. This is Emmanuel, and he's an expert in developing WordPress websites. He makes tons and tons of websites. He's probably the fastest website maker on earth. If you need any help, you can find him on icreateyoursite.com. Emmanuel also has a YouTube channel. The link is in the description below, where he talks about WordPress and Elementor. Welcome, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for joining. I'm just going to ask you some questions. So I think this website is beautiful, but when I showed it to you, you said that the font sucks. So we're going to change the font and make it much better. How can we make this website better, and what do you think about it so far?
I think the website's pretty good. I think the font is a little bit dated, but that's really easy to change. And even if you're somebody who's never made a website before, and this might seem like a very complicated thing to do, a very fancy website, we're going to see it's actually really easy, and that you've been scammed by web design companies who've gotten you to believe that this is really hard to do. It's not really hard to do. It's really easy to do. You can do it yourself. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a really awesome website.
Yeah, so we're going to make this website step by step with no steps skipped, and we're going to learn everything from putting in the logo. This is going to be bigger right here, but how to put in this cool header, and I think this is really beautiful. And most people think that, you know, just because I'm showing you how to make this website, that they can only make this website. Is that true? Is this the only website that people can make?
Yes. No, you can make any website. So if you check out the site, you see that, you know, all websites are pretty much made of the exact same parts. You have sections, and you have columns, and then you have pictures, text, paragraphs, and buttons. So, you know, this website was put together in, you know, this way that looks really nice, but you can rearrange it in any way that you want, whatever style you want. You can make some images bigger, something smaller, change the colors, change the fonts, change the buttons. We're going to go over all those things. You're really going to be able to make this website your own at the end of this.
Yeah, so basically after you learn how to make this website, you're really going to learn how to make every website. And that's all I have to say about that. Goodbye. All right, so the link for everything about Emmanuel is in the description below, so you can check out all of his things there. But we're going to go over why use WordPress. And do you have any ideas on why people should use WordPress rather than Wix or Drupal or Shopify or Weebly or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. Customers ask me all the time, you know, can we make the website with Wix? Can we make the website with Shopify? Yeah, probably. But the reality is that, you know, if you really want your website to be around for a long time and to be compatible with a lot of things for a while, WordPress is the best way to go. It's compatible with pretty much everything. It has this great set of, you know, almost unlimited plugins for anything that you would need to do, and that's really hard to find in any kind of other, you know, ecosystem. You know, with Shopify or Wix, if down the road you want to add like a chat box to your website or a membership, or, you know, some kind of like really interesting thing that you saw, it's going to be really hard to add that to the website without having programming knowledge. And in WordPress, a lot of times you can just find a plugin, which is kind of like an app, that you can just add to the site, and that's it. Your website has that feature. So, you know, and of course, it's also used by a ton of reputable companies.
So basically, WordPress is the most flexible without having to shell out a lot of money for custom programming and everything like that. And it is used by all these companies: CNN, Forbes, Jay-Z, Katy Perry, eBay, UPS, and it's the most popular way in the entire world to make a website. So we can see here the market share is almost 60%, and all the other website builders combined is 40%. We can see that breakdown right here.
Yeah, and a lot of these websites that are on Joomla, Drupal, all these things, these are usually like ancient websites. Like, these are websites that were made, you know, 10, 20 years ago, and they're just sitting there. It's not like some people are making modern, brand new, nice websites with these things, you know?
All right, so here's the overview of everything that we're going to learn and our like guide to guide us on what we're going to do. So first we're going to get the domain name, then we're going to get hosting, then we're going to install WordPress, and finally we're going to make our website. The first two are the only ones that have any cost associated with it. So what is a domain name?
Yeah, so a domain name is just the name of your website, like youtube.com, facebook.com. You know, it's going to be your business or your idea .com or .net or whatever you want to make it. That's what the domain is.
So Emmanuel's domain name is icreateyoursite.com. My domain name is tyler.com. Facebook's domain name is facebook.com. So that does cost about, what would you say, $15 a year, something like that?
Yeah, that's about it. It's $5 to $10 to $15 a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, $5 to $15 a year. And then hosting. What is hosting? What do you tell people? What do you tell your clients what hosting is?
The way I explain hosting is, it's kind of like the way you think about, your website has images and text and all this information, and that information has to be stored somewhere. So it's kind of like, imagine a Google Drive. It's a storage for all your website's info. So that's all that hosting is. It's like a storage, so that when you upload a picture to your website, that picture has to be somewhere in a computer that's on all the time, that people can see that on your website. That's what hosting is. Basically, a computer, a server somewhere, who knows where, that is on all the time. And when somebody goes to your website and says, hey, load up your text and your pictures, that information is sent over. It's always available.
Cool. So it's a computer that's on 24/7 that holds all of your information. And if you didn't have hosting and only a domain name, your site would come up blank, right? There would be nothing there because there'd be no way to hold all those images and text and everything, right?
Yeah, and when you talk about hosting, that sounds really complicated, like this computer and these files. It's going to be really easy to set up. It's, most of these the hosting we're going to be working with, it's like a one-click hosting. Everything is set up for you. You get right into making your website. You don't have to worry about programming a server or doing any of that crazy stuff.
Right. We're going to do it all step by step with no steps skipped. Hosting is about $10 per month. So about $10 per month. I'll show you how to get a big discount so you're not paying that much. And then we're going to install WordPress. We went over what WordPress was before, but now it's super easy to install. And it's free, so that's really cool. So WordPress is free. It's what's called open source. You really have all of the content on your website, and it's really yours, rather than like somewhere like Wix where they hold all of it and you can't download your whole website. You can't transfer it or anything. So that's what makes WordPress really cool.
Yeah, and also to clarify, we're going to show you how to set up hosting. If you have hosting through WordPress.com, that is something completely different than WordPress.org. So what Tyler's going to show you is going to cost about $10 a month. WordPress.com is its own thing. You're looking at around $300 for a business website with them. So you want to make sure that you follow those steps and you get hosting with HostGator to get this pricing.
All right, and I'm going to show you how to bring that down to about $30 for the entire year. So there's a huge discount involved. And with WordPress.com, you have to pay a lot more in order to get the features that we have.
Yeah, and a lot of the features that are free with WordPress, plugins, themes, through WordPress.com, for some reason, you have to buy each thing separately in a package. So, there's a lot of confusion between WordPress.org, which is the free software, and WordPress.com. So just make sure you're following along.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing the WordPress.org free open source WordPress version, which is the most popular one. And then after that, we're going to make your website, and Emmanuel's going to do it, so it's going to cost $5,000. No, just kidding.
Step four, you hire me to do the rest of the website design.
So we're going to make your website, and making your website, you're going to do all of it, so it's absolutely free. So in total, everything after all the discounts and everything, it's going to be about $30 for the entire year. So $30 for the entire year, I think, is a super good deal to have your website broadcasting to the entire internet.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a business idea and you legitimately think that it's a good idea, then $30 for a year is a steal. You should be able to make that back within the year, I would hope. If not, it's probably not a good idea.
At least you tried also. Yeah. I've went through many ideas and they didn't work.
Yes, and you have a year. So, if your first idea doesn't work, you have time to try different ideas. It's really important. Sometimes people only get like 1 month, and then, you get busy and it's not really enough time to try out your whole idea.
Yeah, so we're going to do that for the entire year. And we can do both of these steps 1 and 2 at HostGator.com. So let's do that. Let's make this site here. Let's improve upon it a little bit with the manual suggestions, and let's do it. So we're going to go to HostGator.com, HostGator, if I can spell, .com and press enter. All right, so we're at HostGator.com, and I like HostGator because of their 24/7 365 live chat and email support, and I've been with them for now 16 years, since I was 19 years old, so I think that's pretty crazy. They have all of this hosting up here, pro hosting, domains, and we're just gonna focus on the hosting, and we have these three options: shared hosting, website builder, and WordPress hosting. You would think you'd use WordPress hosting, right?
Right.
But it just costs more and it doesn't really give you that much more. So really, we're going to use shared hosting right here. It's the least expensive, and you can always upgrade later. What's the point of getting something that you don't need and paying more money when if you start getting traffic to your website, then upgrade at that point. But you probably won't need to in a while. This could easily take on 100 people a day. So we're just going to go with shared hosting. And we have these plans here, the hatchling plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. But I have a trick. If you see this $2.75 a month, we can actually go up here and type unlock, UNLOCK. Then you get the biggest discount in the entire world. And that turns into $2.57 a month. So I think that's much better. I know. Hallelujah. So we have these three different plans: the hatchling plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. The business plan is just way too much. We don't need all of this stuff, and we can always upgrade later. It really is between the hatchling plan and the baby plan. Do you know the difference between the hatchling plan and the baby plan? I'm sure you do.
The main difference is how many websites you can have. So on the baby plan, you can have unlimited websites.
So like yourwebsite.com, your mom's website.org, your wife's website.net, you can have all of your business clients website.com.
If you plan to make multiple websites, then you'd probably go with the baby plan.
Right. If you have like 2 websites right now, all of a sudden, then you go with the baby plan. But if you only have one website, which I'm guessing most people only have one website to start, then you go with the hatching plan. And again, you can always upgrade later. So we're just going to go with the hatching plan, and we're going to click buy now. All right, now we're gonna register a new domain, or say I already own this domain. What's the difference between I already own this domain and registering a new domain?
Yeah, so maybe you already went to GoDaddy or somewhere else and domains.com or something, and you bought a domain. So if you already have a domain somewhere, then you'd plug it in here. And this is gonna help you connect it to the hosting that you're getting right now.
Right, but if you're registering a new domain, which probably most of you are, then you'd register a new domain. That is, if you bought it from GoDaddy previously, you put in your domain name right there, whatever your name is, .com, .net, .org. Or if you're registering a new domain, you can put it in right here. Today we're registering a new domain. So I'm just gonna type it in. Now it is online.com, and then this is the extension. What's an extension?
Yeah, so the most popular one is .com, but you've probably heard of websites that end in .net or .org. These are all different extensions of the kind of domain that you're using. There's a lot of different ones. If you're doing it, I would probably go with .com just because it's the one that everybody knows. But if you really want a name and it's not available on .com, then you can choose a different one.
Yeah, or if you're really cool, you could do like a .space or a .tech. But most people know the .com, so I would get the .com. What should people do if their domain name is not available? What do you do if your domain name is not available?
Yeah, if it's not available, you have pretty much 3 options. One is getting a different ending for it, like maybe it's available through .net or .space or .tech or a different one. Rewording your domain, so maybe switching the words around, seeing if it's a different variation or an abbreviation is available. And then the last option would be trying to find out who owns the domain and seeing if maybe they're not using it and they want to sell it to you, probably.
Do you think that people should add on all of these? Just, get all of these, add them to your cart, get the .club, the .site, the .net, the .online, just add all of them and buy them all.
I think HostGator would like that very much.
I agree with you. But what do you think?
Probably not. I mean, unless you have have an idea to trademark your company or something and you're scared that somebody's going to try to imitate you, maybe you'd want to have a .net version of it, but 99% of the time, .com is perfect.
Yeah. I usually say almost nobody tries to copy your idea, Nobody tries to copy your website, and I don't think so. Getting the .net, they just want to make more money. I usually recommend against it. Domain privacy protection. What is this? Should we get it? Should we not get it? Who should get it?
Yeah, so pretty much whenever you get a domain, your information goes into a public registry, just like if you bought a house or you bought a car, it's like just a registry that everybody goes on to. And basically, when your info is on there, you can get like, ad calls or ad emails, people trying to sell you services, normal ads like anybody would get. If you choose domain privacy, basically HostGator hides your info behind their own contact info, so you don't get all those ads. But that's about it.
Yeah, so you may, if you uncheck this, get a couple of spam calls, people saying that they'll rank you higher in the search engines or something. But I don't think that it's necessary for most people, but just know that, if you uncheck it, you may get a couple of calls, you may get a couple of emails, and they might be a little bit annoying. So if you definitely want your privacy protected, then keep this checked. But if you don't really care and you want to save $16 or $15 a year, then uncheck it. So I'm cheap, so I'm going to uncheck it and just go from there. Then we have these different package types. We have hatchling, baby, and business. So we already discussed what they are. So we're just going to go with hatchling. Unless you have multiple websites already, then you'll go with the baby. So we'll go with the hatchling. And the baby, you don't need to pay for hosting again, but you do need to pay for your website name again with the baby. So you need to pay $15 or $12 a year for each additional domain name, but you won't need to pay extra for any hosting. All right, so we're just gonna go with the hatchling because we only have a single domain name. And then we have all of these different months and what is the best strategy. And I think the best strategy is paying the least amount upfront while saving the most amount in the long run. So if you do 1 month, then it's gonna say, okay, it's gonna be $4.38 for the first month, but after that it's gonna be $10 a month. But if you go with the entire year, that whole discount is applied for the entire year. And if you go the entire 3 years, the whole discount is for the entire 3 years. So I think the best balance of saving the most in the long run while paying the least upfront is the 12 month because it's $2.58 a month. Why would you go for the 24 month? It's $3. It's more expensive, $3.18. Or the 3 year is a viable one also at $2.57. But I think the 12 month is where it's at. What do you think?
Yeah, that's really good. Like 12 months for $2 each.
Yeah, that's crazy. Then put in your password, put in your security PIN, your email address, everything. I'm sure you guys know how to do that. Put in your first name, last name, phone number, where you live. I'm in California, but Emmanuel's in Texas. Just kidding. Well, I don't know why I said Texas. I meant Florida. It's in Florida, not Texas. It said Texas here. That's why I said that. And then the credit card. This is my real credit card, so please use it.
It's an additional benefit of following along the video.
Yeah. You can do credit card, PayPal, put in your information. Super easy. And then additional services. I could just make it easy on you and I can say no for all of them. But we can go through them. Do you want to go through them?
Yeah, these are just like extra plugins. Most of this stuff we can do ourselves by adding it to the website. It's kind of like the WordPress hosting. It's just, you're paying extra for them to install WordPress for you, and we're just going to install it pretty quickly. So we don't really need any of this.
Right. So the SSL, our site already comes with SSL, so we don't need that. I don't know what this advanced SSL is. So site lock, you can get a plugin called WordFence, right, that will secure your website and just keep up to date with the plugins and everything. We'll explain that later. So I'm going to uncheck that. Professional email, I don't think that we need this. Your website already comes with email. It's basic email, but if you want to upgrade, you can always do that later. And then backing up your hard work, we can download a plugin, which we'll show you on how to back up your hard work. So we're going to save $2 a month. And then I don't even know what they would do for the SEO. What do you think that they would do? Like, I don't even think that that is possible.
I'm imagining they're just going to install an SEO plugin where you type in the keyword and it gives you like advice. But we can do, there's also a free version of that.
Yeah, so definitely at $35 a year, don't do that. All right, then we're going to enter in the coupon code, and that's unlock, UNLOCK. And I do get credit and commission for providing this. HostGator wanted to give me the best discount to my users. And so just thank you very much for putting this in. It helps me make these tutorials absolutely free. Then click validate, and it should be about $31. It fluctuates here and there, so it'll be from $30 to $40, but you get all of this, money back guarantee, your domain name for 1 year and 12 months of hosting. And I think that is a super great deal.
That's super awesome. A whole year for $30. It's like, that's what you spend going to McDonald's, you know.
What do you eat at McDonald's? Just kidding. So go to I have read and agree to the terms of service and click checkout now. All right, so congratulations. You've done the hardest part, which is just decide that, you know, you want to have a website and actually do something about it. So we see this right here. Sometimes every once in a while, you'll get like this welcome screen, and it will guide you through setting up a WordPress website, because that's the most popular way to make a website. So with the welcome screen, all you have to do is press install WordPress. It's a big button right here. For me, since I already have a website in WordPress on a bunch of websites, this is what it's showing me. So I just have to click install WordPress from right here. But we'll both be on this page once you click on that button to install WordPress. So here it is. It used to be super hard to install. You used to have to mess with, you know, FTP files and transfer things and change, you know, database numbers and stuff like that. But now it's super easy. All we have to do is click on this button, install now. All right, and then we choose our domain name. So I have a whole bunch of domain names, but I'm gonna choose nowitsonline.com. What do we wanna do with this right here? What is this?
Yeah, you probably want to leave that blank. If you wanted to have, because, you know, your website works like a file system. If you wanted to have a separate structure in your website, you could install WordPress on a different part of your website. You could have like 2 different websites on one domain, technically, but it's probably you want to skip that part.
Yeah, so if you put something here, it's gonna install on yourwebsite.com/something rather than just yourwebsite.com. So you don't want it to be like on nowitsonline.com/your name, because when someone goes to just your regular website, nowitsonline.com, then that'll come up blank basically, and WordPress won't be installed there. So leave this blank. You can leave this as it is. And then your site name. What should people do for their site name?
Yeah, most of the time you probably want to put the name of your business or the name of your idea.
So, and the name of your business goes on your site name. And then your site description. What is a site description?
Yeah, you probably want to have 1 sentence describing in the gist of what you do.
So, learn how to put your website online. Something like that. All right, and then the username. What do you recommend people put as their username?
You know, whatever username is going to be really easy for you to remember, and whatever password is going to be really hard for somebody to guess.
Hey, I like that. That's good. All right, and then admin email. Would you put your regular email here? Right? Yeah. So I'm just gonna put my regular email, and then I'm not gonna install any of this stuff because we're gonna do it all from scratch. And then email installation details, we're gonna do it to our email just so that we have them. And then we're gonna press install. Now it's gonna install WordPress for us. All right, so now we're gonna check and see if our website works. So we go ahead and check it, and we're gonna see that this website actually doesn't work. And that's because your website takes anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour to spread across the entire internet. So it's gonna take a little bit of time. So go ahead and take a break, take a walk, do something, and come back, then your website will work. There's actually one more problem though, and what is that problem?
Yeah, sometimes if your domain is from a different company, it might not connect just the right way, and you have to go in there and tweak some settings. It's really easy. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes. And I have a video showing how to do that. This is only like if your domain is coming from somewhere else. It's super easy to do. The video is only 3 minutes long. You just go in, edit settings, copy paste, you're good to go.
Right, yeah, so sometimes, yeah, if you bought your website name from GoDaddy, it doesn't connect yet to HostGator, so he has a video right here. Just type in how to connect a domain name to HostGator. He's the first one here, and click on the video and it'll guide you through how to make it actually work. But most people will probably bought their domain name right from HostGator, so this should work perfectly. So we're going to take a little bit of break now, and when we come back, we'll see if this website works. All right, so we're back, and we're going to see if this website works, and we go to it, and the website does work. So we have nowitsonline.com actually online. And what are we looking at right here?
this is the default version of WordPress. So this is what 99% of the time, sometimes they update it, but it will just look like a blank version with some text on it, and that's it. This is just plain WordPress.
Right, and some developers charge $500 just to get you here, and they say, we got a website, and now we're leaving. And, you saw how easy that was to do. So now all we have to do is log in. We can actually close both of these. And how do we log into this website?
Yeah, all you have to do is add /WP-admin, and that's going to take us to the login portal.
/WP-ADMIN and press enter. Where do you get your username and password from?
We just made it.
You're right. So we put in our username and password that we just made. And we press login. And now it's going to log into the dashboard. What is all of this crap here? It like jumps out at me. And what do we do? What do we do? All of this looks like garbage. It looks like when I get a PC or something, and then it has all these apps popping up, or I get a new phone and it has, this podcast or this email app that I don't want, like, what do I do?
When you set this up for the first time, it's a little bit overwhelming. There's a million menus, and then there's all this stuff coming up. So the first thing you want to do is get rid of all the extra stuff that comes pre-installed. It's going to make everything look a lot simpler, and it's going to make it really clear, for the following next steps. So let's just get rid of all the extra plugins. Plugins are like apps, basically. Pre-installed apps on your website.
So we have all these plugins that the hosting companies installed so that they can get paid or whatever. I don't even know why. And all we have to do is click on plugins, go up here, go to deactivate and apply. And now deactivate all of the plugins first. See how many are installed? That's crazy. And then go here and then delete and apply. And now delete all of them. So we've deleted all of the plugins, and now if we go back to the dashboard, it looks much simpler and cleaner, and not everything is, popping out at us. I think let's explain permalinks, because I think HostGator still doesn't do the permalinks right.
So yeah, if you look at your website right now at the top, it says nowitsonline.com /WP-admin /index.php. And that works fine, but we want our website to be a little bit nicer. We don't want all the pages to have, index.php. We want it to be, really easy to remember, really clean, really modern. When you go to a website like apple.com and, it just has, apple.com /Apple Watch. It's not /Apple Watch /123%, .php. We want our website to be like that. So we want to change the link structure. And to do that, we go into the settings, and there's a settings just for the permalinks.
Right. So I just went back to the homepage by clicking on this right here, and I clicked on Hello World, and exactly what he's talking about. It has 2021/04/29/Hello World. But that's like exactly what he said. Like, that's not when you go to Apple's website. It's just like apple.com /about, not apple.com / all these numbers. And how do we change that? We go back into the dashboard up here. And by the way, this only shows when you're logged in. So this bar up here only shows when you're logged in. So we can go back to the dashboard by just clicking on it and then going to settings and permalinks. And then we can just do post name. Is that the one that you do, post name?
Yeah, that will just have the name of the page. So if you make an about page, it's just called yourwebsite.com /about. Or /contact or / whatever the name is. This is also really good for SEO in Google. That way, on search, your website just shows up with the title of whatever page it was, and not a bunch of crazy things that's really hard for people to see and understand what that page is about.
So we click on Save Changes, and we go to here, and now we go to Hello World, and it's just hello-world. And what is this Hello World thing doing on our website?
So by default, WordPress comes with a few demo pages and a few demo posts built in, but we can replace those with our own posts and pages.
All right, so now we're just going to go back to the dashboard, and let's start actually building our website. What should we do first?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is have some inspiration. What are we going to build? How is it going to look?
So let's go to the Figma Desert.
So this is a design that we've already come up with. So if you go to figma.com /proto /p, it's probably not going to load up anything for them, I would imagine.
Right.
But we're going to show you an example of a design we had made. This would work the same with any other website. Like if we just pulled up a website and we wanted to like create something similar to it, same idea. So this is just a design that we found and we liked, and we want to make our website look like this.
Right. So you can pull up the Apple website or the Nike website or whatever website that you want and follow the same steps to create whatever website that you want. So here is our inspiration. So we're going to keep that up. And we have the images already, to download. They're in the description below. How do we make this? What is the thought behind making this first? I know that you are the fastest web developer on earth, so show us the magic.
Yeah, so we're going to need our tools first. So we're going to need a theme. We're going to need a couple of plugins to help us design the page. And with those two things, we can start showing you how to turn the green blocky website we have now into a really pretty design like what we're looking at there in the preview.
So what is a theme? So is that the first thing to get? A theme and then plugins. Plugins are like the apps, the programs installed. We know that, but what is a theme?
Back in the day when you hear theme, you would think it was something that would design the website for you, and some themes are like that. The theme we're going to use is going to be really plain and basic. It's going to set up pretty much where our menu is supposed to go, where our footer is supposed to go, and like where our blogs are supposed to go, but that's it, because we want to do all the design ourselves, because we want you guys to be able to create a website however you want, not be stuck with a specific theme. Like, if we installed a car mechanic theme and you're not a car mechanic, that's obviously not going to work. We're going to install a theme that is really easy and can be converted into anything you want.
So themes used to be really rigid, right? You used to have like car mechanic theme, right? And you can't do anything with it except for that. But now they're super flexible. You can make anything with a single theme.
Yeah, so what theme do you want to use?
All right, I think that we should use the Astra theme. I think that theme is one of the best themes that's very flexible. Do you have any other theme that you would maybe recommend, or is that one good?
Astra is really great. They kind of cover all the bases for you, and it's really easy to work with, so I agree with that.
All right, so we'll go to Appearance and Themes, and then we'll add a new theme by clicking on Add New, and then we'll search for Astra, A-S-T-R-A, and we see it here. And we can go to Details and Preview, and we can see it has 5 out of 5 stars, 4,921 ratings. I think it has like 1 million installs, or, it's a lot. So always look at the ratings. Always, if you're going to install a theme. This is the preview of the theme, but this is not what it looks like. I mean, you can make it look like anything that you want. This is what it looks like at first, but it gives you the flexibility to do anything. So we'll just click Install. And once we do that, we can click on Activate. And now if we go to the front end of our website, we can see that the design is different. The theme is different. It looks really ugly, but something has changed.
Right, so we have a few more working parts. You can kind of tell, well, on the top left, that's kind of where the logo should be. And then on the right-hand side at the top, you kind of have like where the menu should be. And now if you scroll down, you have, the bottom footer of the page. So the page now has a little bit of structure, where before it was just like a green blob with everything in the middle. So this is basically the skeleton of the website, what we have right now.
Cool, so we have the theme, and now what's next? Do we need any tools? What should we do?
So we're gonna install a few plugins, and plugins are basically like apps, the same way you would download an app to your phone and you get more extra features or functionalities from that app. You can download plugins to your website to add extra features to your website. So we're going to show you Elementor, and I think we're going to need a few more, right, for different functions to the website.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and go to plugins, and let's add new. We're going to add in Elementor, like he said. Elementor, E-L-E-M-E-N-T-O-R. Elementor is a visual designer plugin, and we can see it has 5 million installations, 5,763 5-star reviews. So we're just going to install that now, but it basically allows you to make your website visually. So we're going to install it now and activate it. All right, and they want to give us a getting started introduction, but we don't need that. What is the next thing that we need to do? I think we could get the plugins later, maybe, if we need any. I think we might need a form plugin so that people can type in their name and email address, but I think we should do that once we cross that issue or problem. What do you think is next?
If we don't need any more plugins for right now, the next step would be to make our first page, our home page.
Make our pages. So we would go to pages, and pages are like, yeah, your homepage. Posts are like blog posts. So we would definitely need pages first. So we'll go to pages, and we can get rid of these pages. They're just sample pages. So we can click on this and then go to move to trash and apply. And then I like to delete it completely from my website for some reason, and delete permanently and apply. All right, then we're gonna add new pages. So we're gonna add new, and what do you think the first page should be?
First page has to be the home page, of course.
Has to be the home page. So I'm just gonna type in home, all right? And then just click publish. Is that it?
Usually what I do is I'll go to page attributes, and then there where it says default template, I will change that to full width. And what that means is by default, your page is kind of crunched to the middle, and we want our website to look nice and modern. We want the images and stuff to go all the way across. So that's what full width means. And the other thing I do where it says Astra settings, for the sidebar, I put no sidebar. And for the content layout, I put full width stretched. And that's just, I do that to make sure that everything is always all the way throughout the page and nothing ever gets stuck in the middle.
So basically the Elementor will have full control of the entire page instead of being like contained to a very small area. All right, then you click publish and publish again. And now we have that first page published. So would you create more pages at this point, or do you jump into actually creating this page?
What I like to do usually is I will make the home page first, because with Elementor, once you have that first page done, it's really easy to take elements of that first page, like you made your header, you made your columns. You can take that and recycle it and reuse it on your other pages, and makes it really easy to build your other pages once you have your first page done. So I always start, with the home page and get the home page all done and out of the way.
Okay, cool. So you want to do the home page first right now, edit with Elementor?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so click edit with Elementor, and we'll begin creating our first page. So what is all of this stuff right here?
Yeah, so what you see right here in the middle is the actual website as it looks right now, your home page, which is, it's empty. On your left-hand side, you have all your different tools you can use. You see you have headings, images, videos, buttons, dividers, spacers, Google Maps. These are all things that we can add into the website. There's some extra stuff that's locked. There's a pro version of Elementor that you can add if you want extra stuff. But you can do your whole website with the basic elements that it brings. So, we need to start creating sections, creating columns, and it's all going to be really simple. We'll just follow along with the design and we'll copy it pretty much.
Exactly. Anything that you see on this left side can be dragged into this right side and create things. But most people don't understand, you were telling me this before when we were talking, most people don't understand how to look at a website and how to break it down in their mind. So how would you break this website down in your mind? Give us some examples of maybe the different rows and columns and how to really think about it.
All websites, any website that you go to is kind of made the same way. So you have your rows, which is from left to right. Imagine it as an entire section. And then that row can be divided into different columns. So for example, right there, that is a row that has two columns in. It has a text column and it has an image column. So it's two stacks of things pretty much. And then inside of each column, you can put an image, a heading, a paragraph, a button. So here we have this section, and you can kind of think of like imaginary lines going all the way across with text on one side and an image on the other. So it's two columns. If you go to the next section, you see that it's just one column with a picture in it. And if you go to the next section, it can either be one column with a gallery in it, which is probably what it is. Or you could also do this by making three columns with three images in it to kind of make it look the same. But I think that one has a slider, so it's probably just a gallery plugin because it has a little clicker over there to scroll through. So we'll show you how to add that in. And then the main one, the first one, is just one long section with a background image. And then it's just one column with text in the middle, the button, and then just a background image pretty much.
Exactly. And it'll make more sense when we get to it. And just know that we're not going to recreate this website perfectly. We're going to get 80, 90% there, and it'll look great. But we want to do it all within what Elementor can do without any coding or without having to upgrade to Elementor Pro. So that's what we're going to do. It's still going to look good. Emmanuel said that this was one column. So we're going to add one column, and then we're going to add in different things to it, like some text, maybe a button here, an image in the background, and we're going to do all of that. So we go over here, and this is where the one column is. This, for example, down here would be the two columns. So this would be one, this would be two. If we wanted to make that section, that would be here. But we're making the first one, so we make that. And then what's the first thing that you do in order to build this? How should we be thinking about this?
The way that I think about it is, if I want to make it just like that, okay, so what needs to be inside of there? We know we need a small text at the top in yellow. We need a heading that's a little bit bigger under it, and then we need a button under that. So I start by just grabbing those three things and putting them in the column.
All right, so text, heading, button. So we go over here, we can click this button here, and then so we have just some text. Let's find some text editor, right? And then we can get a heading under that. Just click, hold, and drag, and you see this blue line. And then after that, maybe a button. So we go button there. All right, so we have our text, heading, a button, but it looks nothing like this. So what's our next step?
The next thing we have to do is we're gonna space it out so that it takes the correct amount of space, like it does there. It's not so cramped. And after that, we're gonna add a background image. It's gonna get us a little closer to how it's looks in the picture.
All right, so click on here, right? The whole section. And then what?
And then we're gonna go to height.
Height.
And then this is the way that I like to do it. You can do it with padding as well, but I like to go to minimum height. And then there's an option that says VH, vertical height. That's what I think it means. And that pretty much means, what percent of the screen do you want this section to take up? And we can put something like 90% probably. I think it's what it looks like over there. It takes up a lot of the screen. And the reason I do it like this is because this way, no matter how big the screen the person checking your website is on, it's always going to take up the same amount of space on their screen.
Wow, that's a really pro tip, because I usually put in padding, but you're right. It's so much easier just to put in the height, the percent height, which would be really good. All right, so we have our percent height, and now do you want to add an image to the background? What should we do?
So let's do the background image first, because that's going to get us really close to feeling like we're getting to the design part. So let's plug in the background image.
All right, so to do that, you click on edit section, then you go to style and background type. We can go to classic, I believe, and then here's an image just to put in an image. And so we can click on image, and all of the images are in the description below. Or are there places to get cool images that are copyright free?
For sure. So you can go to unsplash.com as a really good one. So if you search desert, you can probably find similar pictures. If you have a business or an idea, you can search things that are related to your business, whether you're a mechanic or a doctor or a florist. These are all different pictures that you can use. There's tons of other ones like Pixabay is a good one. Pexels.com is really good. And all these websites kind of work the same. They have this search bar. You plug in pictures of what you're looking for, and there's tons of free images that you can use on your website. And they're really good, really high quality images.
And a note about images is that if you click on them, you don't want to get the super huge original size, because that will make your website slow. You probably want to go with a large size, which would be good. What do you recommend in terms of how large the image is?
Yeah, usually remember the bigger the images, the slower your website might load. So usually anything that is at least 1,000 pixels will look pretty good. So usually, between medium and large works perfect.
So medium or large is good. And all right, let's upload this image. So I have all the images already. So I'm just going to go to the desert, the main page, and then say the main one, and then open it up here, and we'll insert media. All right, why does it look like crap though? What's happening?
The picture that you uploaded, is a lot bigger than the screen you're looking on, right? Because it was probably a really professional picture taken with like a just awesome camera. So by default, it's kind of like putting the real size of the image. We need to adjust it so that it's a size that fits on monitors. So there's a couple of options there where it says background. So we have position. So I like to put it in the center. We have to see if that looks the same as the one that we're seeing there. And we see we get a little bit closer. Under attachment, if you wanted the picture to scroll, you could do fix, and that will make the picture move, which is kind of cool. And then under size, I put cover. Usually cover works. That kind of makes the picture fit in.
So that's looking much better. Looking close to this. All right, so what is next?
All right, so we have the image looking pretty good, pretty close. All right, the next part is let's actually change the content, the writing, to actually say what it says on the other one. So let's make join us. So we click right there on the element, and then you can edit it there on the left side.
Join us, and then it says explore the desert. So just click here. Is that capital? Do you want it capital? Explore the desert. Explore the desert, and then it'll say learn more. By clicking on it and then going to text, learn more. Learn more. Okay.
The next thing would be to now make it look like that. So we want the join us to be in the correct color. We have the colors there, perfect, and we have the fonts and everything. Awesome.
So FFB882, that is the color. What the hex is a hex color?
That's the color code of that exact color. So if you go to style, all the styling options for the element are there. So content is the actual writing, and then style is what it looks like.
All right, so we're gonna style it. What was it? It was FFB882, and that should give us that exact color. FFB882 will give us that orange color.
And what I like to do is, if you go back to the color options, right there, and you click the little plus symbol,
ooh,
it will save the color, so we don't have to type it in every time.
Oh, that's pro tip right there.
There you go.
That's like an Oprah aha moment.
So so now you don't have to copy. If you find a color that you like for your website that looks good with your background picture, it can be, obviously you're making your own website. It doesn't have to be this background picture and this text. But you can save the colors that you like, so that you don't have to keep going online and searching what color it is.
Nice. All right, so let's go back to what this looks like. And did you like the Join Us font or no?
The Join Us font I like. The Explore the Desert font I think looks a little bit dated.
Okay, so the Join Us font is PT Sans Regular. Let's see if we can find that. So we go here, right? And then we go to typography. That's a fancy word for font. And the family, we can type PT Sans, right? And there it is. But why doesn't it look exactly like that? Is there a way to get it a little bit closer?
Probably need to make it a little bit smaller, and we need to move the letters further apart. So under size, we can mess with the size. Okay, and make it look as close as you can. And then under letter spacing, which is the last one, you can adjust the distance between them. You can see it's like a little bit of distance.
Cool.
And then
a little bit more, or less.
Yeah, just so that it looks as close as you want it to be to the.
Cool.
Yeah, and then for I don't know, do you want to try to get that line in the front like it has there?
No, I think we need to. I think we could just forget that. Or we can add some dashes in front of it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay, I think we need to make it a little bit bolder with the weight, and then we can make it so it has these lines in front of it. What's the best way to get that line in front of it? That's a little advanced.
Try just adding the text and see how that looks.
Yeah, so we could just go like this.
Oh, that looks really bad.
So you have to be flexible with it, and some things that you can do, some things you can't do. We can obviously do this, but it may just take a while. One thing that we can do is we can add, if you wanted to for some extra credit, add an intersection, right, to this, and then add a line on one, and then the join us on the other. But we're lazy and we don't want to do that right now.
It'll take a while.
So,
and then
yeah.
on mobile, it's going to look funky, and then you have to adjust it for that.
Exactly. So sometimes you need to be a little bit flexible on what you can or can't do, or what is worth it, especially in a tutorial where people want to save the most amount of time. All right, so that join us looks good to me. It's not exactly the same, but it's close. I wanted it to be a little bit bigger because it's kind of hard to read here for me. So I wanted to be a little bit bigger. And then we're going to do Explore the Desert, and you wanted to choose a different font. What should we do for this Explore? Or are we done with this Join Us?
Let's work on Explore the Desert, and then we can revisit the Join Us if we see that it looks wonky once everything else is set up. So yeah, we're going to make the text white.
All right, so style, and then make the text color white. I don't think we need to add that white as a global color, right?
Pretty easy to remember that one.
Yeah, and then typography, fancy word for font. We're going to make it bigger for sure.
Perfect. 70 looks good.
It's 69, but you didn't want to say that. Okay. 70. Do we like Roboto?
I like Roboto.
Yeah, Roboto is good. That's the font that Google uses, right?
I think so.
I think that's the font Google uses. I sometimes also like Montserrat. There's a...
Oh, yeah. That one's nice.
So that one's kind of cool. Or Roboto's kind of cool. Which one do we like better? Roboto, maybe?
Yeah, let's do Roboto.
Yeah, Roboto. So we have that. That looks cool. It's looking like this, but different because he didn't like this serif. And all right, what's next?
Next is the button. So the button, it has to be transparent and it has to have a white outline. So we want to make the text white. We want to add a little arrow icon. We want to add a white border, and we want to make it transparent. Those are all things we want to do to that button.
All right, so how do we do that? Let's start with the arrow icon.
Right there, under button, there's a little icon option, and we can click the little circle to use the pre-made ones for us. There's a ton of free ones, and just search arrow, and we just find one that looks similar.
That arrow over there, maybe something like this one or this one.
That one looks really similar.
Yeah.
So go with this one. We'll insert it, and then we need it after. How do we do that?
Right, the next option right there says icon position. Before, change to after.
After, got it. All right, looking close. And then what's next?
You could space it out a little
spacing.
bit. Perfect.
Yeah. Cool.
And I think for the icon part, we're done. So next, we're gonna add the text is already white, so we're gonna add the white outline.
So you go to style, right?
And then border type, solid.
Border type is solid. That'll add a solid around it.
Radius of 2.
And then 2 for
border
width. Oh, radius.
So the border width is how thick you want the border to be, and then the radius is how curvy do you want your button to be. So if you put like 100, it'll turn it into like a little pill. See? But we want ours to be just more square, just a little bit curvy. So that looks really good.
So 2, 3, somewhere in there. And then, oh no. My webcam's freaking out. Internal temp too high. And my camera got overheated, so it's just gonna be Manuel doing this right here. And he's laughing at me. All right, so what's next with the button?
Okay, so we have the outline, the color, the arrow. So right under where it says color, a little bit higher up in the button options, we're going to choose to make it transparent. So to do that, on the bottom, under the color slider, there's a little checkerboard slider. And if we slide that all the way down, it makes it transparent.
Ooh, look at that. Looking very close to this.
What we're copying is a picture. So obviously it doesn't move, but probably on our website, when somebody hovers over the button, we might want it to change a little bit so they can kind of know that it's clickable. So we can click on hover, and we can make our button look different when a mouse is hovering over it. So we can do that by making maybe the background color a little bit darker, just so that it kind of like fades into a little bit black. And then that way people know that it's clickable.
Oh, so we'll go to like background type or color right here.
Yeah, and just make it probably like a little bit darker.
And then maybe...
Yeah, like halfway transparent.
Oh, there it goes.
And then black. I think black will look better since the text is white, probably.
Oh, hold on, I can't see where the black is. Let go. Okay, so black and then transparent. Like halfway, like that. Oh, cool. I like it. Maybe a little bit less. Boom. All right, cool.
Just enough so that
like
people
that.
can know. All right, and at this point, we're getting close. We have all the text. We see that the spacing is kind of funky. You see that the
Right.
Oh, one more thing. Should we change the typography of this also? This button?
Oh, let's check what it is. Yeah, let's.
To that, yeah, I think it's the default. Maybe we can go to the PT, what was it? Sans? Yeah. Yeah, does that look a little bit?
Yeah, that matches a little bit better with the.
Now, yeah, the spacing, how do we do that? Spacing's sort of messed up.
So there's a lot of ways to do it. The easiest way to do it would be to add a spacing element, which is just literally you drag and drop it in, and then you can add space. Or also there is this thing called padding, which you can add to any part of any element in any website, and that's just spacing on the actual element. So whichever way you think will be easier.
Cool. I think that adding a spacing might be too big, so let's do some padding, you think?
Yeah, okay, let's show them that.
All right, so we'll click on this, and this join us is not very far, maybe a mouse a mouse distance away, so I think it needs to be a little bit closer, right? So we can click on this and we can go to advanced, and then for padding for the top we can make it, would you ever make it a negative padding, or would you change something else with it? Or
I think sometimes for text boxes it adds spacing when you're in the design mode, but if you preview it, it's not there. Yeah.
So if we maybe preview changes or pressing on this.
Yeah, just to make sure.
all right, so we have some of it, and let's see, it looks, yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good. The join us could be a little bit closer, I think. So I think what we can do maybe is go to content or style and go to typography maybe. And for the line height, can you make it, yeah, so we can make it 0.1. So that'll change the line height a little bit. And then maybe we can make the line height for this the same way. So click on it, go to style, typography, line height for this, just so it kind of gets rid of all of that extra spacing, and then we can control the spacing ourselves maybe. Let's preview that. Okay, yeah, so it did get rid of some of that space. So this doesn't look aligned, this join us to the explore. What else? What do you think we need?
We probably want to add a little bit of space under explore the desert for the button.
Right.
That we can do with padding, probably.
Yeah, we go to advanced and then go to pad. Click on this, go to advanced and then padding, and then we'll add some to the bottom, right? Maybe like 50.
Unlink the.
Oh, unlink the values. Nice, thank you. 0, 0, 50, 0.
Nice.
All right.
The join us, maybe add like 5 pixels of padding on the left hand side to scooch it over a little bit.
Right, because it's a little bit weird over here. It's, yeah, going over there. So how do we do that? We go to advanced, padding, and then on the left side, what do we do, like 5 pixels, you think? All right, good. And then the button, what does it look like here? I guess there's a little bit more padding. We'll make these all equal distance. So we'll just click on this, explore. We'll do top 50 also, like that. Perfect. We'll preview that and we'll see how this looks. I think that looks pretty good actually. And our button works and everything. And yeah, what's the next thing we do?
All right, so let's look at the next section of the website.
All right, so we have this line here. We have this headline, this regular text, and a button and an image. So what do we need?
All right, so we want to add a section that is 2 columns, but actually we need to, no, that's actually not right. Because these 2 columns are full width, which means they're going to go all the way across. And if you look at here, this section is kind of like in the middle of the page. So we probably want to have 1 column and then add columns inside of that. And that will force it to be in the middle of the page.
So we add 1 column. Because if the 2 columns were there, it would go all the way across. It would go all the way like around here and here instead of having this blank space, right?
Right, exactly.
All right, so add 1 column and then add an intersection into it.
So this is kind of like nested columns, columns instead of columns. So if you close the Elementor toolbar, they're on the left, like if you squish it out of the way with a little arrow that it has there.
Oh, yeah.
you'll see, oh, it takes away the guide. Well, you would see that the main column stretches all the way to the end, but the inner column stays in the middle, which is what we want.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so then
All
the
right.
next step would be just the same. We're going to drag and drop each of the elements that we need, the little divider line, a title, a paragraph, and a button.
Divider, title, paragraph, button. Divider, title, paragraph, button. All right, so we have a divider here, and then a title. Did I put that in the right place? Yeah, I think. And then a paragraph, which is the text editor, and a button.
And then on the right-hand side, we're going to have the image, an image.
So an image. Okay, and let's put in that image real quick, just so it looks good. So we'll choose an image. We'll upload files, select files. You can add any image that you want, but this image, do you remember what it was? I forget.
Desert beach, I think.
Oh yeah, that was it. We got it. Okay, so there it is, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. We need to change some things. How do we change this? This divider doesn't go all the way across. It goes maybe, I don't know, 20%, 15%. What do we do?
Yeah, so if you click on it, you're going to get the options to edit the divider, and then you have the width option right there. And kind of make it look as close as possible.
What do you think? 12, 13? Let's say 13.
Yeah, looks good.
All right, and then, whoops, we have, let me change that, into the desert and all of this text here. So we'll say into the desert, change it, into the desert, and then some text. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this text.
Perfect, we have our 2 paragraphs.
That.
2 paragraphs, okay, something like that. And then we have that. How do we make it look like this? We can see the spacing. Spacing's super important. We can see the spacing's a little bit different on the top. Text is a little bit different. So how do we make this good?
Yeah, so we want to add spacing to the main section, not the inner column. So we'd click on the options for that one. And I think probably like 50 maybe.
So you go to advanced, and what's the difference between margin and padding?
Margin is the space outside of the element, and then padding is inside of the element, right?
Okay, yeah, exactly. So padding's on the inside, margin is on the outside, so we'll add 50. So top and bottom, maybe a little bit more, 100, something like that, right?
Yeah, it's a good amount of space.
How do we get this font right? Is that the same as this heading font, or?
It's a little bit smaller. I think it's already Roboto, right? We have to change the color and change the size.
Okay, so we changed the color, so that was some sort of dark gray. So we'll go to style and change the color here to dark gray-ish, and we can save this as our dark gray. All right. And okay, we didn't like that font though, so is that good? Do you like that? Into the desert?
Yeah, the Roboto font is fine. And then for the paragraph, what is it? It's also the same gray?
Yeah, let's see. It's a little lighter, so I think it looks good like that.
And for the button, we can actually copy and paste the styling options from this button to the other button, and then we just change it from white to black. So.
Oh, cool. So we go edit button, we right click, and then we can copy, right? And then we go here and we can paste style. And now we can't see it. How do we see it? So we go to style.
You got to switch it from everything white, just switch it to black. So we'll make the text color black instead. We'll make the border color also black instead.
Black, border color. Black, which it does, and then
it's the hover color is still
content.
gray. Yeah, we have to have the right word.
The spacing.
Do we have a spacing? Do we have this?
Oh, does it have an arrow?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, yeah, so we need that after. Instead of click here, it should say something, learn more. All right, is that good?
Perfect. I don't know if you want to change the hover color so that when they hover over it, maybe it turns into like a light orange, kind of like all right, the orange we had for the join us, maybe.
Oh, okay. So we go hover, and then color.
To go to your global colors, you just click the little globe icon right there.
Oh.
Click on the little globe.
Huh.
Yeah, right there.
So we'll do an orange, but we'll make it lighter. Yeah. Is that going to change my global color or no?
No, it's not gonna change your global color. Perfect.
Whoops.
Yeah, just
Okay,
like
cool.
a little transparent. Looks good.
All right. And that looks cool. I like that.
All right, so if we preview it, we should see if this new section looks similar to our...
All right. So let's preview it and let's see what we have here. All right. So that looks pretty good. It could use maybe a little bit more space between here, you think?
I agree.
And anything else?
What we need to do is maybe on these two columns, add maybe 20 padding to each to kind of just squeeze them a little bit down, and I think it'll look almost the same.
Okay, cool. So we'll go here and then we will click on this.
Right?
Well, we want space in between them, so instead of adding space, the padding to the entire section, I would add it just to the left-hand column, and then again just to the right-hand column.
Oh, 'cause I was thinking we go here, then we add the column gaps. You ever do that?
You know what? Yes, that also works. That's very good.
Let's try. Wider.
Oh, that worked perfect. That's the good thing about Elementor. There's multiple ways to solve an issue. So you're not forced to like, hey, you have to know how to do this one specific way. There's a lot of different ways, to get things to work.
Exactly. More than one way to skin a cat, as my mom says. All right. This one, it seems pretty easy, right? We're done with this one, right? So this one seems pretty easy. What do we do here?
Yeah, so we're going to add one section by itself, and we're just going to add one image in the middle. And I think maybe we might need to add a little bit of spacing, but that should about get us about there.
Image in the middle. Upload files, select files. And then we have the surfers, and we can insert media there. Is there some sort of width? There it goes. That?
Okay, so to get it to look exactly the same, we probably need to do an intersection with just one column at 100%.
So how do we do that? Get rid of this one?
Yeah, delete the picture.
Delete.
We're going to add an intersection in there, but only with one column. We can delete the other column.
Okay, so we delete this column. And now there's one column in here. You add a picture in here.
And we're doing it this way because that inner column keeps the picture looking like it's in the middle.
Got it.
Yeah. But for everybody watching, if you want your picture to go all the way to the ends, then you can just put it right in the middle without the extra column.
So we do this one and then we change this outer one to have padding, or what?
No, we just click that one right there and then do 100% on that picture. Like click on the picture itself. Yeah, 100%.
Do 100%.
And then click update
That's
or
it?
preview. Yeah. And then
Preview
it
changes.
should look haha, there it is.
Oh,
So
nice.
what happens is that inner column is not full width. It's already by default set like the center width that we're using. So we don't have to worry about adding padding and stuff. That one's already set up.
Got it. Let me try to turn my camera back on. Wow, I didn't think these things overheated. Okay, I'm back.
You should put a little fan next to it.
I know, I need to do something. It never happened before. It's so weird. They advertise that it can go forever.
There's too much going on. It can't handle it like so much knowledge.
Knowledge, exactly. All right, so how do we get this gallery in here? It's not going to be exactly the same, but can we get close to doing something like this?
So how many images do you have for the gallery? Is it 3 or is it more than 3?
I just have 3.
Okay, so in this example, you have the little arrows there, which, if you had more pictures, the idea is that you would click and they're like a scroll through. So in this case, we're just going to have 3. So we're going to use the gallery. We're going to add in the title for it to say gallery, and then we're going to add in the actual gallery element to it.
So really, this looks like 3 columns, but it's really just one because we're adding the gallery like widget.
Right. If it was 3 individual images, then it would be 3 columns. But because it's a gallery of a lot of images that you might want to have, then it's actually just one gallery instead of individual pictures.
Got it. So let's add something new. Let's go. Well, I just did 3. Let's add something new. Let's add this, and then we'll add a title to it called gallery. Right.
We're going to have the same issue again where if you want it to be nested in, we have to add that extra column in there.
Got it.
Yeah, that column is that double column thing is what's giving us that effect that like it's staying in the middle of the page. If the page was not full width, then we wouldn't have to do that. But then the first picture would also be squished down. So this is a way to get both things in one spot.
So we delete that column. So we have column nested in a column, and then we can add the gallery, right? Let's just search for gallery. And basic or this gallery?
There's the Elementor gallery, which is that one, and then there's the default WordPress one, which is not that great, and then there's a pro version, which is really good, but you have to pay for it. So we're gonna go with the basic gallery. We have to go with the basic gallery, which is also really good.
I like how you broke that down. We will select them, and wait. First, I need to know which ones they are. They are hand, van, and cactus. Hand, van, and cactus. Okay, so we have hand. You could hold command or control. Command if you're on a Mac, control if you're on a PC. Car. All right, then we'll press open and we'll create this new gallery and we'll insert this gallery. And now it looks messed up. What do we do?
Right, so we want to change the settings so that it kind of looks the same. So image size, we probably want to do the full size. And that should, okay. Right. And then for columns, we want to do 3 instead of 4.
Ooh, all right. Real good.
That looks really good. And then we're just missing the heading there where it says gallery.
So we'll go to heading, we'll drag it in here, and we'll type in gallery. We'll go to style, and we'll make it that gray color, right? So we'll go to text colors, dark gray. And what typography is it? Roboto, is that fine?
We probably just need to either make the gallery go more to the left or make the title go more to the right.
Okay, so we'll make the title go to the right since we're here. We'll unlink these, and then we'll say 6.
Oh, no, on the left, I'm sorry. To push it over to the...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, 10. All right, and then we can preview those changes. And we can see if it looks good. So we have that gallery. Maybe it needs a little spacing on the top and bottom, but other than that, it looks pretty good. So let's add some spacing. Let's do this one. Doesn't really matter which one you do. Advanced, we'll do margin, or just do margin 50. Maybe 75. 75? Yeah. All right, to the top and bottom, that'll give it a little bit of space. And we can update that. This will update your entire website, and we can preview it. So what does this look like? And it's looking really good.
It looks pretty good.
All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna make it mobile responsive. So it's gonna work on your phone, your tablet, your PC, everything. So we want it to work on small devices. How do we do that?
Yeah, so on the bottom left-hand side, you have a little icon that says responsive mode. And if you click that, you're gonna get options for tablet and mobile devices, I believe.
Cool. And you know, what happened here and how do we fix that? So everything looks pretty good except for that top one. So that's the only thing that we need to change, right?
Yeah, and the thing is that when you change the settings for mobile, it won't actually affect everything else that we've made. So it only affects the mobile version. So you don't have to worry about changing a font or changing a size. It's only going to affect whatever styling you change for that version of it.
Right, and we can see that we have this little mobile. If you can see it right here, we have this little mobile icon here, and it's all squished like this because we made it the line height just not very tall. So I think if we go to content, if we go to style and go to typography, the line height, and we can see that right here it's mobile. So if we change that, then that looks pretty good. If there's anything else that we need to change here.
If you scroll down, let's see how that looks fine. That looks good. I think everything else looks pretty good.
Right. Everything else looks pretty good. So we're going to update that, and that's only going to change on your phone. That's only going to change on your mobile devices. We can see what it looks like for the tablet, but I think it should look fine. So tablet.
Yeah. Most of the time, the tablet one will look pretty good, especially with tablets now that are getting bigger. And
Yeah,
I think on the iPad by default, it always pulls up the desktop mode
got
if
it.
you're holding horizontally.
Yeah. So, okay, so that looks pretty good. The next thing that we need to do now that that's done is we need to make other pages. So we need to make our services page, which looks like this. But as we can see, we have some things that kind of duplicate. So what's the best strategy to go forward with this?
Yeah, so since we already did the hard part of creating all the sections on the homepage, we don't have to do that again. We can actually reuse the sections so we can save them as a template, pull them back up on the next page, and reuse them on the other pages of our website.
Right. So we can reuse this section, right? And then this one is just this one, but switched. And then the gallery is the gallery again, and we can just switch the images. So we can save. Would you also save the top section or?
Yeah, we can save it because it's pretty much the same as the first one. We just have to remove the extra text on the button, but everything else is basically the same.
Got it. So let's do that. So how do we save sections here?
Right. So I would actually just save the entire page.
Pro tip right there.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
just
an Oprah aha moment.
click right next little arrow right next to update, and then save as template.
And then we just save this as home, right?
Yep.
And we save it. And now we have that entire home template saved. Now that that's updated, let's go to the home page and see what the home page looks like real quick, just to see if it looks like what we expect it to look like. And it looks like this. So what is the issue here? What do we do here? I know that we haven't done the top or the bottom, and we'll get to that later, but how do we make our website just look kind of cool? Like you go to the homepage and looks cool.
Yeah, so you have to tell WordPress that yourdomain.com is the homepage, because right now it thinks that your domain/home is the homepage. So if you do /home, it's going to show that as the design that we did. We just have to tell it, hey, you know what? This page is actually the homepage.
So the page that we named home is the actual home page. How do we do that?
So we're going to go back to the dashboard, and we're going to go to the settings, and we're going to click on reading. And there you see your latest post. We're going to click a static page instead. And for the home page, we're going to select our home page.
All right. So we can save changes here. And now, hopefully, when we go back to our home page, it will be the page that we named home as the home page. And it is. And that's looking super cool. So now, how do we make another page?
Right. So the easiest way is from the toolbar where it says new. You just click new page. That's going to pull up for us to create a brand new page.
All right. So we'll name this about. And then for the template, we'll make full width. And then you said the sidebar.
No sidebar.
No sidebar. And then there was one other thing.
The layout will be content layout stretched.
Content layout full width stretched. All right.
And I think.
All right. Then we publish this, and now we can edit with Elementor. All right. Now what?
Now we're back to the blank page that we started with, just like the home page. But it's a lot easier because we can actually just reuse the template. So you click the little folder icon right there in the middle of the screen. And if you go to My Templates, those are ours. And we can click Insert. And click Yeah.
All right. So that took the whole thing and put it into this About page. But it doesn't look like an About. So what should we do to make it look like this About Us?
First, we're going to delete everything that we don't need. So we can delete that Join Us part.
So just click or right click and delete this one too. All right, and we'll put About here. Caps, you think, or?
Well, actually, a little pro tip, if you can leave it blank if you want. And then if you click the little icon next where it says title, the little gray bar, right next to where it says title is like a little disc. Yeah, a bunch of right there, dynamic tags. And then click, oh, that's only in the pro version. Oh, whoops, never mind. Yeah, type in About.
See, such a pro, he uses the pro version.
On the pro version, it automatically pulls the page name and fills it up.
Oh, that's cool. So we'll have a link to the pro version in the description below, and you can do all types of cool things.
All right, so we have About, And then the next thing we want to do is make that section less tall so that it matches the demo.
So click on the whole section, and do you think we should do a vertical height, or do you think we should do a pixel height, or some other way?
I think vertical height is good, probably like 20 or 30.
So maybe
Oh,
50?
50.
Yeah, there. And then let's see. And we have about us, so we'll do about us.
All right, we just change the background image.
So click the whole section, style, and choose image, and upload files, select files. You're gonna have this about page right here. So the about header is the one, and we open it up and we insert media. Ooh, looking pretty good. All right, so now we're gonna look over here and we're gonna see this section right here. So how do we add this section here? Well, it's already added basically, right? So we could just say an unforgettable experience and see services and then change the picture. So let's do that. Click.
So now would probably be a good time to show them how the button link works. So now we have somewhere to link to. So for example, where the link little symbol is, there you can type in home page. Like if you type in home, it'll automatically generate the link for the home page. And once we have the services page, we could link it there instead. But that's how you set up links in there.
Ah, cool. So once we have all of our pages, they'll show up here if you start typing the page. Like
Exactly.
if we start typing about, the about or the home, then we can link it, and then people can click on the button and they'll go to that page.
Yeah, if you want to link out, you just copy and paste any link into there.
All right, let's upload our car. Insert media, is that the one? Yes, that is the one. And then how do we get this? This is like the same as this, right? But on the other side. So how do we do that?
So we just need to create another one of these inverted. So you can actually just right click on the inner section right there. That one, yep. And then click duplicate and it will make an exact copy of it. And then you can drag and drop the column across and it will switch them.
Click, hold, and drag. Nice. And then let's add maybe some spacing up here. How's the spacing? Maybe a little bit more spacing to the top here by clicking on the whole section, going to advanced, going to margin top 50, maybe bottom 50 too, yeah? Maybe 70, 75, you think bigger? Cool, so we have that and that, but we need to change the text, which is into the desert, and put the camel in there. Oh no, yes, into the desert and put the camel in there. So we'll say into the desert, and we'll put the camel in here instead. All right, what's next? That looks pretty good. That looks like this. What do we have next? Oh, the gallery.
The gallery we already have done, so it's just switching the images out for the new ones.
All right, so we delete this, right? Because we don't need this section. And then we have this gallery, which is a little bit too much space. So we'll go here.
So much, yeah.
Advanced. There it goes. And then switch out the thing by clicking on it, right? And the images are the camels, ATV, balloon. What do you think is the hardest part of the whole tutorial? Which one do you like the least?
Probably the hardest part is going to be just understanding all the styling settings that everything has, because it's a lot. But once you do it once, you kind of don't have to think about it anymore, because you just, it gets saved. But, there's a lot of different colors and fonts and, pictures and all different settings to make it look just right. So that it's not difficult. It's time consuming to get it right. But once you got that figured out, you can pretty much do whatever you want with the website.
Nice. I think the hardest part is the header sometimes. Like getting the header and the footers right with all the fonts and everything is, sort of annoying. Or just the customizer itself is a mess, I feel like, in a way. Okay, so how do we get this section in the easiest way possible?
Yeah, so the easiest way is going to be, we're going to just copy and paste the heading, copy and paste one of the buttons that we've already done, add it into a new section, and that's it.
Oh, like copy and paste this?
Yeah.
Oh, so we'll add a new section, one column, and then copy and paste this right here.
Yep.
Copy, come down, paste, put that in the center.
Mm-hmm. And the same thing for the button.
And then add some spacing to it by going to advanced, margin, top. Might as well do 75. because that's what we're doing. And then book the best possible desert tours. All right. And a button. Copy. Can you paste in a button here?
Yep, you bet you can.
You sure can. Center it right there. Okay. Adjust the spacing probably a little bit. Oh, no, that looks pretty good actually. Maybe make this thinner, do you think? Or maybe it won't go.
Is it the same on the other? Like, is it different on the other on the demo? Or is it meant
Let's
to be?
see. A little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little bit smaller.
A little bit smaller. So to make it smaller, go to typography, go to size, maybe there, 27, fine. And then go to advanced, and I'm going to add a little space to the bottom by going margin 50, 40.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good.
And so we're done with that page. So that was super fast. Now we need to make sure that it is mobile friendly.
Yeah,
So,
and since we already had the mobile settings for the homepage, we actually got that moved over here as well. So you can see that the font on that first title is big, but it's not squished. So
right. And we can always make this smaller too if we wanted to. Make it smaller by just clicking on it, going to style, and then typography, and that will only change its mobile size if we wanted to. But we'll just keep it like that because I think it's cool. And everything looks good. Yeah?
yeah, looks nice.
All right, so we'll update that. We're done with our second page, and we can preview that, see what that looks like. And now this is our about page, and it looks super good. Maybe a little bit space on the bottom there, which is easy. We can just go here to the whole section, and then add 75 to the bottom also. Boom, that's looking great. So what is the next thing to do?
The next page is services?
Services. So this is looking a lot like the other pages, really, where it's just this on the left side and then the text, and it just adds this right here, which would be pretty easy. So I think this is going to go fast too. Should we duplicate this entire about page for this?
Yeah, you can. Let's just save that about us as a template as well.
Right. So
that one, that one's actually a little bit closer to the services page, so we use that one.
Right. So we'll save this as a template, and it's all like building blocks. So once we get our home page and about page, we just start building these sections, and they keep on adding on top of each other. All right. So we're done with this. Let's go to the home page, and how do we make a new page? What's another way of making a new page?
You can go to the dashboard, and you can go to pages. And then you can go to add new. There you are.
And this was called the services, right? Services page. All right. And then we do the same thing, right? We do default template, full width, sidebar, no sidebar, full width stretched. And then we will publish this. Publish. And edit with Elementor.
Yeah, now when we load in the about template, it's going to be really close to the services page. How you want it.
So we'll do this, my templates, load in the about, and import. All right, so now we just have to change it here. Okay, right. So we put in services here.
So one cool thing is that if, let's say this was being done with Elementor Pro and you had the dynamic tag, it would have automatically updated the name for you on the template. So it saves you that bit, that bit much more time.
Is this the same header as the about?
Yeah.
About and services. Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, there it goes. Sorry. I'm like, what am I looking at here? Got it. I have too many tabs open.
It's too similar.
Yeah. All right. So we have our services. So all we have to do is change this image out. That's super easy by uploading select files. I have it all organized in this nice folders for you. So, all right. So it looks good.
Nice. Perfect.
And then we need everything on this side. So on the left side. So that's fine. So I'm going to delete all of these other ones. And I don't think we need a gallery or anything. No, it goes all the way down for the left side. So I'm just going to delete everything that we don't need here. What do we need? How do we make this sort of look like this?
Let's get rid of the little line, which you don't need. We only need one paragraph also to make it look more similar. So just one paragraph on there. We need to change the button to say book, right, with the little arrow. Nice. And if you look at the picture, you can see that On that one, the image section it's like 70/30. It's not right down the middle.
Mm.
So if you hover your mouse right over the middle of the two columns, you can drag it over, and when you switch the image out, it will look nice. So it'll look like it's split the right way.
So what do you think? 35, 65, something like that?
Yeah, let's try that. When we plug in the picture, we'll know for sure if it looks right.
Okay, so we'll just say book. We'll make it easy like that. Put in the picture now. So we'll do the surfboard guy first. And you always want to do, can you explain to them why you want to just do one section and not try to do all of them at the same time?
Yeah, especially in this one, since they're all going to be the same. Instead of repeating it, you just have to design one time, and then we can use the duplicate function to just duplicate the design that we fixed one time, and then just switch out the picture and the content, so that you don't have to redo the design and add the column and add the picture in every single time.
Right. So always be thinking about, in terms of being able to basically copy and paste each section into it. All right. Does that look pretty close? I think maybe this text might need to be a little bit less or smaller.
Right. Yeah. I think it's like 5 or 6 lines on the demo. So maybe just get rid of a few sentences.
And you can also alternatively, make this text smaller or bigger or anything like that to fit properly. She made it smaller here. So I'm just going to put surfing. And then the tricky part is, that looks right. But the tricky part is this section. How do we get this next to this, or how would you do that?
Okay, so I think we're gonna need 2 text boxes, probably. Like 2 headings. I think will be the easiest way to do it. 2 headings.
2 headings on top of each other. So just one.
Before you do that, go to advanced. Under that heading, go to advanced.
Okay, so to undo, that's important. How do you undo?
If you undo, on the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little clock with an arrow, and you can go back as many steps as you need all the way back to the beginning if you make a lot of mistakes.
Cool.
But the text can actually stay there. Just to see what advanced options are for that one. If you go to positioning, you scroll down a little bit, positioning, click there, and with custom, and then you put percent.
That's interesting.
It will only take up 50% of the space.
That is very good. I would have done it a different way. I would have done added an intersection into it, but this is actually cleaner and better.
Yeah. The reason this is better is that in mobile view, it will still keep it next to each other. It will not stack the columns. So now you duplicate that one.
Look at that.
Yeah, they're right next to each other, and they will stay next to each other.
Genius.
In one column.
That's a pro tip right there.
I wasn't sure if that was like only on the pro version. So, but no, the version has that too. Thank you, Elementor, for all that stuff.
We'll write him a note. All right, and then we'll make it black. Yeah, we'll make it black. Black too. Maybe a little gray. Okay, so now how do we get it looking a little bit better?
Like probably make the 3 hours to be a little bit smaller, right?
Yeah, 3 hours. All right, we'll go to style. We'll go to size. Say that. Maybe make it a little, for the weight, maybe make it a little, yeah, that looks better. And then for this one, we can make it a little bit smaller, right? And how do we get it to align?
Right, so now the 3 hours, we probably have to add a little bit of padding at the top, just to push it down a little bit.
All right, so padding, top, do 10, nope.
That looks pretty close.
5, 4. 4 or 5. 5. All right. And now how do we get this 3 hours closer?
Yeah. So right now it's 50-50. We can try maybe 30-70. Just kind of closer.
Okay. So we go to advanced again, and then positioning. We can say this is actually 25. Yeah?
Perfect.
25, and then this will be the rest, 75, right?
Yeah, it's automatically going to slide it over. And then, yep, there you go. Takes a
cool. And then I feel like we need some more spacing here. So is it good to go with one of these, or should we go with book?
Let's do the button. That way the button is always away from whatever's on top of it.
Okay, and then we'll unlink that. We could do margin or padding, right? Does it matter?
Yeah, it'll be the same.
So we'll do 25.
Perfect.
That looks good. All right, so now are we satisfied with the way that looks? Does it look like this? Is that good enough?
Looks pretty cool. Before we duplicate this section, we should probably check the mole version so that we don't have to edit
So that's very smart. I feel like you've ran into this problem before.
Many times.
All right, mobile version. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, looks good. And you see how it keeps it next to each other?
Yeah.
Right?
Genius.
The little things.
It's the little things. I agree. All right. So do you think we should add padding before we start duplicating things? Because
there's spacing between all of them. So what is it, like 75?
yeah. So do you duplicate this entire thing or this inner one?
Let's do the inner one. Yeah, the inner one so that it stays in we don't want to have a million columns, so let's just keep it all in one column.
Okay.
That'll be cleaner.
We'll do the inner one and then we'll just duplicate it. All right. Do you think we should add spacing or you think that's good?
Right. Yeah. No, we'll add the spacing to that one and then we'll duplicate it from that one for all the other ones.
Okay. Just at the bottom though, right? Spacing bottom. So I can Command Z, right? And then go to advanced and then padding bottom. Is that what you meant?
Oh yeah, that works. I was gonna do it on the top, but this works the same. It's the same.
So we'll do 75 maybe. All right, and then we'll see if this works now when we duplicate it.
Perfect.
Pretty good. All right, so we'll do that how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, all working mobile friendly. Let's see if we can remember the images. This is a memory test right here. All right, surfboard, ATV, balloons, camels, couple. I'm never gonna remember that. Surfboard. All right, ATVs. All right, you got the next one.
B for balloon.
Huh? Balloon? Oh, he did it as letters. You've been watching those memory YouTube channels. Yeah.
B for balloons. C for I don't know. I know it starts with C.
Camel. It's got to be a camel.
There you go. C. And then D for
caravan. Ooh, I named it caravan because I know like a group of camels is called a caravan. I thought I was so smart.
Last one, D for dancing. It's two people dancing.
Oh, D for dancing, not C for couple, because that's also C for camels. Man, how'd you get so smart?
Watching a lot of YouTube videos.
Just constant YouTube
sometimes customer will ask me, like, we'll finish the project. They'll be like, oh, by the way, where'd you study web design? I'm like, YouTube University.
And they think it's a real thing. All right, so let's see if we got it right.
This feels like a website where I go and I book something. It looks legit.
Yeah. Oh, now we need to change it. Okay, so we'll just make up these things. So we'll say ATV adventures.
Balloon skydiving.
Ballooning. Is that something? Is that something? Then
Taliban excursions.
Okay. I don't know how many people would
sign up.
I like how this is one's the ocean. It's like, where are you?
What desert is this? What place is this?
I'm just gonna put ocean. Book the ocean, all of it for 3 hours. Oh, we need different prices too. All right, how much is surfing? That's what I want to know. $250. Okay, how much is ATV adventures?
150.
150. Nice. Ballooning, if that's a thing.
350.
350 to balloon. The camel caravan.
That one's at 99.
99? Dude, I would book that one. That sounds like all those camels.
Because it's cheaper because it's a group pricing.
Oh, these are your individual friends.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. And then the ocean.
That's $10,000.
How 10,000?
Yeah, I mean it's the whole ocean.
Oh, we need to change the spacing here then. 10,000. No, I got it. 10,000. That's steep. Very steep.
I mean, listen, if you want the ocean, you got to pay for it.
I guess you're right. We need to do this one a little bit further. There you go. Now we got to change this. It's like a math test.
Do you know you're
No. 40. I forgot what I even did. 55? No, I must have did 60.
It's gonna be
60 bucks.
70.
No, 60. Did I do 40 on this one? I can't remember. I must
Listen,
have.
Tyler, it's $10,000. What can I say?
I mean, I'd book it for 3 hours, the whole ocean. All right, so we we did that. We're done. Oh, now the contact page. We got one more. Let's see. Does this look good mobile? It does, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it should. Nice.
Oh, that's a little bit big. So we'll do services. We'll go to style, typography. And for the mobile size, we'll make it a little bit smaller, 65. All right. And then we have surfing, book, ATV adventures, ballooning. What is that called?
Balloon rides? Hot air balloon?
Hot air
ride?
balloon. There you go. Ballooning. That's fine with me. All right. Update. It looks great. All right. Now we have one last page, and that is the contact page. This contact page right here is difficult to make in the regular Elementor. You know, you can make it in Elementor Pro. You could make it if you know some CSS, but we just want to make it easy. So we're not going to copy this exact one, but the functionality is going to be, you know, there, and it's going to be the same. So that's what we're going to do. So to make it, what do we do?
Well, we can add a contact form plugin. I'm not sure which one you want to use. There's specific one you want to use.
Yeah, I like WP Forms personally.
All right, so we'll get WP form.
Okay, so I'm just going to go back to the homepage after I've updated it. And I'll go to the dashboard, and we're going to add a new plugin. Again, plugins like an app. You know, you're installing an app, and most of them are free, and their business model is usually to upsell you on, you know, features. So, but usually the free version is pretty good.
Right. So like for WP Forms, for example, you know, all the form stuff is free. But let's say you want to collect a payment with the form, like you want to be able to pay a bill or something through your form, then, you know, that would obviously come with the pro version. But all the regular stuff is free, which is really nice.
So it has 4 million installs, 9,000 5-star reviews. We're going to install that one and show you how it works. So we've activated the form, and I kind of did this backwards because we should have added a page before we installed the plugin. But now we can, we have that form there, but now I want to create this page. But I guess we could create the form first since we're here. So to create the form, you go here and you add new, and then we'll see what sort of fields this form has. It has name, phone, and enter your message. How do we do that? We can start with a simple contact form or a blank contact form. What do you suggest?
I think if we choose a simple one, it's going to already be almost made for us.
Yeah.
Both, right?
Path of least resistance. Okay, so now we have just name, phone, enter your message. How do we get it close to this? We're not going to get exactly like this, but how do we get it close?
I think if you click on name, you can probably, let's see.
Make it simple, right? And then phone. Well, we really should have email here. So instead of phone, let's do email. You could do phone if you wanted. You could change this to phone, but really we should do email. But I want this to go all the way across because it goes all the way across here. There's just like a column, right? A row that just blocks it, you know, so we want it to go all the way across. So I think that's under advanced, field size, large. And then now we have the name. It's within here, and I think we can do that by saying hide label and then placeholder name. There we go. So that's looking a little bit better. And then we do the same thing. Let's do email instead of phone because that's more realistic online, I think, to gather their email instead of phone. So we'll require it. We'll do advanced options. We'll do large, and we'll hide label, and then we'll say email in here, and then comment or message. We'll do the same thing. We'll click this. We'll go to advanced, large, hide label, placeholder, and we'll just put message. All right. And we can make this field small if we want.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, and then it looks pretty much like that. Very close, at least. Yeah, I think we can just save this. But first, we need to go to settings, I believe, and go to notifications. And then it's going to say, where does this message send to you? So it sends to the admin email. So we want to you can leave it there, or you can type in your email address here. What is the subject when it sends to you?
Contact form from website. Yeah, the if you leave the admin on the email, it's gonna pretty much just use the email that you use to set up WordPress. But maybe you want it to send to a different email address. That's when you would type in whatever email address you want.
And then from email. So who is it from?
Yeah, so for the from email, if you leave admin email, and let's say you set up your website with, your email at gmail.com, that's what it will show. Maybe you don't want people to see your email address. The from email, you can literally write in there whatever you want. It doesn't have to exist. So you could write WordPress at nowitsonline.com or service.
Right.
Yeah,
no reply at nowitsonline.com.
Exactly. The downside is that if they do try to reply, the email doesn't exist, but you can choose whatever it shows. Or you can put your email, and then when they reply, it will go to wherever it has to go.
And then reply to, it's going to take that field, the email field, and it's going to reply. So when you're replying to them, it's going to put in their email address. So that works good. And then what's the message it's going to send you? It's going to send you all fields. So it's going to send you their message, their email, and yeah, that's about it, and their name. So that's good. We're gonna save that. I don't think there's anything else that we need to do. So we're gonna top right, save, and we'll have saved it, and we can exit out of there by clicking on this X. And now we have this code right here, but we don't really need to copy it because there's a WP Forms widget that it adds. So we're just not going to copy it now. We're going to create our new page, and it's going to be the contact page. And then we're going to embed this form inside the page using a short code. That was a mouthful, but I'll show you how to do it. So we click on pages, we go to add new, and we try to type contact. We do everything that we did before: full width, sidebar, no sidebar, custom, full width stretched, and we publish it. And then we edit with Elementor.
That page looks a little bit bland, right? It's a little bit nice to have the contact us with an image behind it, you don't think?
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. So let's import the about page template just so it's the same, right? We will exit out all of this. All right. And we'll change this to contact. Do you think we should switch out this image, or is the image good?
I like that image. I mean, if you have other images, we could switch it out.
I don't, not prepared, but
that one looks good. You know what? Put the balloon image back there. Maybe it looks nice. Maybe it works.
Okay. Let's see. Which one here?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one looks like it should be wide enough.
Oh, hey, that's why they pay you the big bucks. Once we have that looks really cool. Now we can try to put in this form here, I think. So we'll add in a column, and we'll go here, and then we search for WP Forms.
Usually it's the one with that one. Usually when you see the little WordPress logo, it's like a default.
That's the bad one. When you see the WordPress logo, run away. All right, and then we have this simple contact form. Okay, so it's too wide, but I have a trick. We click on this, and we go to content width, and we just make it, I don't know, 600?
Yeah, that looks about right.
600, and then we need to add a little bit more spacing to the top. So we'll go to advanced. Margin, we'll unlink, we'll say 75 maybe. Bottom, we'll do a 75. What do you think? Does it need something else?
Let's see, contact us.
Yeah.
You could write the phone number on there, like if you want to have your own contact info.
Okay. So we'll just add like a text edit to the top here.
Yeah, just like with some basic contact details.
Yeah.
Probably.
So we could just say, this will be a little message. Some of your contact details. You can imagine that, and we'll just center it. And what do you think?
Perfect.
Submit. Okay, so it's not, perfect. All right, so we're going to update that. We're going to check if it works on mobile. And that's a little bit too big for me for mobile. So I'm going to go to Style, Typography. This is just affecting the mobile. Put it a little bit like that. We could even center that if we wanted to. And then look at it, and it looks pretty cool. Simple contact form. Now, if your visitors fill this out, it will email you all of that information. So they're just going to put in their name. put in their email, and put in their message, and that's gonna send to your inbox.
That email you used was pretty unrealistic. We use AOL.
Some people use AOL. It happens. All right, so we're done with all of our pages. They're all mobile friendly. What do we do next? How do we actually, it doesn't exactly look like the same thing. This is a transparent here. How do we get it to be transparent? How do we do that?
Well, there's two ways to do it. We can either do it with the Astra settings or for the theme, or we can try to get a plugin that will do it for us. I'm not sure which way. Do you know how to do it with Astra?
Yeah, I think so. I think you could do it per page on the Astra by going to edit page and going to transparent menu. Or we can go to customize, and I believe we can do it there. Or like you said, we could get a plugin. But it's already here, so I'm going to try to do it. Hard to remember. The customizer scares me a little bit, to be honest with you. There's so many sections, and they're always changing it. And so I think maybe if we go to, global header builder, we're going to need to figure this out ourselves.
The header builder is new, so I would click there.
A header builder. Okay. Oh, header types transparent.
Nice.
Enable on complete website. Are they going to make this easy on us?
I hope so. Let's see.
Ooh.
Okay. Getting closer.
Okay. I'm going to publish this and see what it actually looks like. Okay. That's looking pretty good. And that's happening on every page, I believe. Yeah. All right. Are you satisfied with that or not?
Yeah. I think once we update the colors on the menu up here, it will look good.
Okay, cool. We have that, but now we need to take away this line, right? We don't want this line here. Unless, do we have that on any of the pages?
It all flows together.
Yeah, it all flows together. So we want to get rid of this line. So maybe we click on.
Let's just go with what we see. So if you click on that,
there it is. Look,
there it is.
You click on here, and then you click on design. Okay, so we make this transparent. There's probably a better way of doing it. Bottom border is clear. Okay. And then what else do we need now?
The logo.
The logo. Okay, so we can header builder. We can make our own logo, but I'm just going to import ours right here so we can, and it's not going to look like this. It's going to look better than this. So we're going to select logo, upload files, select files. If you don't have your logo, I'll show you how to make one in 1 second. So logo, and I'm just going to say this one. And you can't see it because it's transparent, but skip cropping, and that is way too big. So we're going to make that a little bit smaller. Say 170. The site title, we don't want it to say now it's online anymore. So we're going to say off.
Turn off. Yep.
So we're going to turn that off. Okay. And then now we have our logo in there.
Oh, actually, it just moved it down. You got to turn off the.
Oh.
Yeah, look, it's right under.
Oh.
Now it's
display site title. There.
Yeah.
That's looking
and
good.
one thing is, if you look at the preview here, you can see that Join Us is touching the logo. That's just because sometimes this preview is not perfect. So it's good to have, like Tyler open another tab to see what it actually looks like. So when you're editing something, it doesn't look perfect, just open it in another tab to double check. Sometimes
right, so this is what it'll look like, really, not this. This is just because there's not enough space. Everything is kind of crunched up together. All right, so that looks pretty good. Let's see if that looks good on everything.
Looks pretty good.
And services. Okay, cool. Looks pretty good. All right, we can use different logos for different pages if we want, but you'll have to figure that out yourself. The next thing that we want to do is change this. We can't see this menu, and this menu is not in the right order. So I think for that, all we have to do is click on this primary menu and then go to design, and hopefully the menu color, here it is, normal, hover, and active. So normal, I think we'll do white. That looks great. Hover, I think we'll do like white, but like a little transparent. So yeah, that'd be transparent. And then active, we'll also do a white. All right. And that's when what page you're on actively will be white. I think that is good. In order to order these, we need to do a menu. So how do we create a menu from here?
I'm not sure if it's in here. Maybe it might be in a different section, but there's definitely if you click on the little menu, like if you actually hover over the menu on the there it is.
Menus, and then we'll create a new one, and then we'll just call this the main menu. Main, and then we'll say it's a primary menu. And we need to do this in order to order this in the proper order. It'll make more sense in a second. All right, so I'm adding items. So I'm gonna add the items in the order. So it goes about, service, contact. Would you also put the homepage or no?
It depends how you want your site to look. Most websites, the logo will take you to the homepage, so you can do it that way. If you want your website to be a little bit more modern, if you feel that your users might get confused, then you can have the homepage, be a clickable link as well.
Cool. So we're just gonna add it. We're gonna assume that your users are, maybe older people or something. They don't know to click. Maybe not older people, maybe just dumber people. I don't know how to phrase that. Less computer timed people, let's say. Not dumber. That's very mean. All right, so we'll publish that and everything is looking super good. We'll exit out of here and we'll look at the website and we'll see how it's doing. All right, so I like that a lot. Thing that I want to show you real quick is how to make a logo. Is there a way that you like to make a logo? Do you make it in Photoshop? Do you do it in a different way?
No, a lot of the time, well, if they want a custom logo, we'll do it in Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
If they just need something quick that looks nice, I think Logo Maker works really well for just, something really simple. You're just getting your business started. You want a little symbol with, nice font next to it. Logo Maker's really good.
So Logo Maker, LOGOMAKR without the E.com. And I was previously making something. So what we can do here is we can just search for something like desert. So we search for desert and maybe we want something kind of close to that deserty look right there. And so, there's tons of stuff here. So let's say this one.
Oh, nice.
And if you want to change the color, you can change any of the colors here. Let's say you want it to be that orange or something. And then we can click, hold, and drag, and we can just say, desert, something like that. Make it a little bit bigger, put it in line with this, and, make it an orange or something. And then now you have your desert logo, Oh no, my camera again.
Oh, no. Okay. Tyler, stay with me. We lost Tyler. Imagine Tyler moving his mouse to click the save icon on the top left.
Wait, no, it's just my signal. It's not me. All right. So I don't know. I'm having camera issues. I need send me a link if you guys know how to cool a camera down to a fan or something. How do you do this?
Right. So you click save the logo and it's going to give you a little prompt. And there's two versions, the high resolution version that you can buy, or you can download a regular resolution version, which works pretty good most of the time for free. And it's going to go right there to your downloads. And then that file, you can upload it to your website and use it anywhere on your website. It can be in, on the pages or in the customizer where we used it for the logo. You can use it anywhere on your site.
Right. So that is how you make a logo. And we learned how to insert it in there right there. So the last thing that we need to do is the footer. There's a couple of different ways to do this. Maybe if we just go into the customizer and we do the footer, we'll just create a simple footer. We'll put in this logo here, and we'll put in a menu. And I think that's where we'll be able to do that. So if we
I think that should be pretty easy. Let's see, footer builder.
Customizer, footer builder, and right now we just have this copyright right here, but we can exit out of here actually, and we want something on the left side and something on the right side. We're not going to add in this social media stuff, even though we can. We're just going to add it here and here. So
the first row looks like it already has two columns. I think if you click the plus on the left-hand side, it's the footer menu, copyright. Let's see, is there any logo option?
What the hell?
Click widget one. Click widget one, and then select there. Click there, and then add a widget. And is there a logo widget maybe? Try logo.
Well, there's an image. Let's see. I'm gonna search for logo.
Yeah. All right, image is the next best thing.
Image is good. So your logo is just an image, and then we'll add image.
Choose your logo file or upload the logo we just made.
Yeah, so we could do this one. Maybe there's a dark version of the logo though.
Yeah, on Logo Maker, you can actually recolor your logo. So maybe you have a page with a dark background. You make a white version of the logo or a white version of the logo for a darker background. So you can have more than one version of your logo.
Right. So we'll just do the regular logo and then we'll change the background to match. So match it fine. All right. And then go here and then we'll add in a menu, footer menu, and we'll click on it. Configure menus from here.
I think it's gonna ask you to. Is there a footer one? Okay, so select main menu, and then we'll use the same menu there.
And then, yeah, we have that there. So it's looking pretty good. This does need to be a little bit smaller, I think. I think we can edit it from here. And maybe we can make this a little bit smaller. Or maybe not.
You can try. Actually, just publish it and check. Let's just see how it looks. Maybe it just looks big there, and it doesn't
Okay.
look.
So we'll publish this. All right. So this needs to come down a little bit. This needs to be a little bit smaller. So we're going to see if this is possible. I think
Probably easiest way would be align it to the middle. That's what I think. What I would do.
align to middle.
Yeah, it's not so close to the edge. And then where it says margin, maybe we can use some margin just to squeeze it down, force it to be smaller. Maybe, I don't know. Try
Maybe.
25.
25 margin everywhere.
Maybe not at the bottom. Maybe just left and right.
Okay, we'll publish that and we'll see what that looks like. And a lot of times this is just, trial and error. All right, so
Maybe we should do top and bottom.
yeah, I think so. So I think we should do 25, 25. Let's see what that looks like. Publish.
You made it bigger.
Okay, that didn't work. All right, so the other thing that we can do maybe is we can click on this and we can maybe make the height smaller. If the height is smaller, maybe everything will become smaller. So we'll publish this. No. We can vertical align everything in the middle though. So that's good. So if we publish that, I think this will sit in the middle, which is perfect. That's a lot better.
This is pretty. It's not that bad. The logo is a little bit big, but this is, other than that, it's pretty good.
It's not that bad. Let's try one more time. Oh, here, look. We can make it smaller that way by clicking on this and publishing this. And hopefully...
If you get stuck, guys, don't be scared to just click the settings and see what they do,
Yeah. All right, so that's pretty good. I think another thing that maybe...
There was an option to edit the image. I don't know how much it would let us make it smaller.
I think that might be it. Let's try padding here.
Oh, padding could work.
10, publish.
Yeah, I think it made it a little bit smaller.
Yeah, should we try 20?
250 just to see if it's working, because it might not be noticeable enough to.
Nope.
You can try click on widget 1 again, and then click edit image.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do.
And see if there's an option there.
All right, edit image.
Yeah, and then try maybe
Custom size.
custom. And then height, maybe 50 pixels, 45 pixels tall. And then it'll automatically adjust. Link to the homepage, probably, right?
Oh, yeah. There you go. Link to homepage. So you just put in your homepage here, .com, and then we update. All right. And now let's publish that. All right. There we go. Looks much better. Do you think we should change this gray? I think it's pretty easy. To a different, maybe a darker color, or maybe this blue up here.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Whatever that blue is. So let's try that. Let's do this.
Design.
Design. Background. Here it is. So we'll try to get close to this blue. There. It's pretty close. All right. And then we'll publish this and we'll see if that looks better. All right. The blue's not perfect. And now this is messed up. But
let's make the menu white, and then I think it'll be good.
Yeah, let's make it a little more blue. All right, and then once we do that, now the footer menu needs to be designed in that link color needs to be white. And then this will be white also, but just a little bit more transparent. Active will be white also. Okay, so publish that. Let's see how close we got.
Perfect.
All right, so to me, that's looking pretty good. Maybe not perfect, but super, super good. I'm going to try to turn on my camera.
In the future, your editor will be able to CGI your face.
Yeah, it's just a fake Tyler. All right, so that is how you make a website, step by step with no step skipped, and we are completely done. This website should work on mobile, which we haven't really tried yet, so maybe that is the last step. This is what it would look like mobilely, and it looks great, I think. So yeah, we could change this to white if we were really crazy, which we are. So that's what we're gonna do. Or change it to white, and to do that, all we have to do is go to this mobile menu and then click on this mobile right here. I believe it has some sort of please
Footer menu, probably. Footer menu.
Oh, why am I in the footer menu? Thank you. Gosh. Okay, header builder. Thank you very much.
You see where it says toggle button
Toggle. No.
on the bottom right hand corner of your screen?
Toggle. Thank you.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. All right. Now we should be able to design this toggle button.
Yeah, so you have the 3 dots or the little lines or thicker. There's different versions of it, and then they're the colors.
There it is. Icon. Okay. That's all I wanted to do. Publish this. Now if we go here and we refresh it, this toggle thing should be white. Everything should look good on mobile. That's good enough for me. We are done. All right, so the last thing that we can do is we can log out. So hover over your name. You don't have to do this, obviously, and you can log out. And that's how you make a website, step by step with no step skipped. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for guiding me through this. And is there anything else that you would like to say?
Yeah, I hope you guys like the video. Making a website is not hard. It's not scary. I know the video feels like it's really long, but it's just a lot of different little steps, but they're all easy steps. So, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments and we'll help you guys out.
Yeah, and I have all of the links to Emmanuel's stuff, icreateyourwebsite.com, and his YouTube channel. You could go and check him out. And just, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. It was much funner doing it together than doing it by myself. So I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Have a good day.
All right. See ya. Bye.